A renewed spirit surfaced in Baltimore in 1980 and signaled the beginning of a turnaround year for the Baltimore Colts. Not a dramatic turnaround, but a gradual one, taken a step at a time. New faces joined familiar ones and headed into the new season. Charting the course of the Colts' future, head coach Mike McCormick. His goal for the Colts in 1980 to become competitive, to build the spirit that builds a winner.
Everybody get a block! Everybody get a block, man! Let's get Nesby out of there! Let's go! Go!
McCormick gave the Colts what they desperately needed, stability in a year of transition.
Raymond, come on back to the football now. Come on back. See, he came to you on a 4-Y. You got to come back.
McCormick is a motivator, a strategist, a teacher.
What he did, he gave you that club, see, and it spun you, and then you tried to butt block. Get your hands out. When he goes to, he'll throw that left hand at you. Just drill him with that.
McCormick and his staff introduced a new football system with new defensive and offensive philosophies.
Stuff flying out, we can run the power. They just run a 16 and 17 cutback. Hey, Johnny Mac, did number 20 have you on that 6?
McCormick's guidance added fresh dimensions to Baltimore's attack.
Bert,
the results were promising. The Colts were back in the hunt. The Colts' offense improved dramatically, from a dump and run affair to a long ball, big play approach. The emergence of a rookie running back named Curtis Dickey revitalized the Colt ground game. Balance was back in the Baltimore scheme. In 1980, the Colts' pace quickened. Their steps became louder. Once again, the Baltimore Colts have become competitors. Following an opening day win over the Jets in New York, the Colts returned home for their stiffest test of the new year.
Get it.
It was an early opportunity to showcase rookies like Raymond Butler and determine how well he and other newcomers would handle the heat against pro football's team of the 70s, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Newcomers and veterans alike responded to the test and limited the Steelers to one first-half touchdown. In the second period, the Colt defense took the offensive, and with it, the lead.
And a split backfield. Takeaway by Bradshaw, wants to throw. Lyer is also in there. He dumps it off. It's intercepted by Sander Shiver, and he's going to score. Well, they're on their feet all around Memorial Stadium for Sander Shivers.
The rush of enthusiasm marked a turning point in a game where the lead would change hands 4 times.
Let's go to work, go to work, go to work.
And go to work they did. Quarterback Bert Jones directed his passes at 7 different receivers and relied on the ever-dependable Don McCauley, number 23, to cue the go-ahead score.
Come on, baby, let's get 7. Come on, Bert. Come on. Atta baby.
Raymond Butler's touchdown earned the Colts a 17-13 lead. It appeared the Steelers had met their match sooner than expected. But the defending world champions came on strong in the fourth quarter. When the lead changed hands for the final time, it belonged to Pittsburgh. The three-point loss served as an indicator. The Colts were turning the corner as competitors. Inconsistency haunted the Colts through November. It was no more evident than against the AFC Central Division champion Cleveland Browns. The Browns, who pride themselves on their explosive passing game, led 21-6 by halftime. The Colts then displayed an explosiveness of their own. Bert Jones outdueled the Browns' Brian Sight as he sought out Raymond Butler in the crowd, then located a solitary man in the end zone, tight end Reese McCall. Running back Don McCauley put the Colts a step closer with another score. Another clutch performer was Curtis Dickey, number 27. The Texas thoroughbred averaged over 6 yards a carry and scored one of 3 Colt touchdowns in the second half. Again, the Colts proved they could play with the best, but their joy was tempered when the comeback fell short by a single point, 28-27.
You know, the fact that we came back and made it so close, what we're trying to do, I think, is right, and I think the kids we've got are the ones that can do it.
Defensively, the guys who can do it include seasoned regulars Mike Ozdowski, Herb Orvis, Ed Simonini, and others who gradually adjusted to a new defensive system. It was this defense that dominated Buffalo in the season's 6th week. When Buffalo quarterbacks did find time to throw, their efforts were thwarted. Nesby Glasgow, Larry Brazil, Bruce Laird, and all-rookie cornerback Derek Hatchett neutralized Bill receivers and inspired a 17-12 win. It was second efforts by Mike Barnes, number 63, and the Colt defensive line that made the winning difference in Kansas City. Their coordinated charge produced 10 sacks. The Colts' premier defender in 1980 was Ed Simonini, number 56, who led the team in tackles for the 4th straight year. Others followed his lead. Others like Mike Woods, Greg Fields, Barry Krause, Steve Heimkreiter, and rookie Ed Smith. There were linebackers, quick and agile enough to drop back to cover passes deep and to the sideline. All told, a maturing bunch who took to opposing ball carriers like bees to nectar. Overlooked and underrated for most of his career, strong safety Bruce Laird became an all-pro in 1980. Number 40 relied on anticipation and positioning to become the team leader in interceptions. A master of the safety blitz, Laird is a hitter always prepared to mix it up over the middle. Bruce Laird led a secondary that featured 2 second-year men and a rookie, a youthful group bound by the experience of an all-pro. For much of the past few years, Bert Jones has endured a battle with recurring shoulder injuries. There were doubts that he would regain the strength and touch that made him one of football's indispensable players. His off-season rehabilitation period was a long and lonely one, but the shoulder healed, and Bert Jones returned stronger than ever.
There's really no difference. He's rehabilitated his arm and his shoulder back to a point where he's throwing as well, maybe even a little bit stronger than he used to, and he's brought back all the way 100%. And the way my hand feels right now, maybe even about 110%.
One quality Jones never lost was his confidence. His ability to lead remained intact. He is clearly the man in charge, orchestrating scoring drives like a maestro working toward a crescendo, then closing with a fitting climax. For Bert Jones, second efforts come first nature. His mere presence picks the Colts up, and his teammates gladly return the favor. In 1980, Bert Jones passed for over 3,100 yards, the highest total of his career. The Colts' newly designed passing game is better suited to Jones's style. An innovative offense that featured as many as 4 wide receivers on a single play. Wide receivers like Brian DeRue, Randy Burke, Raymond Butler, and Mike Ciani, number 45. Bert Jones's return coincided with the return of another man whose name recalls the success of the Colts' past. Roger Carr underwent a resurrection of sorts in 1980 and regained his form of the mid-70s when Baltimore won 3 divisional championships. Roger Carr barely fell short of a 1,000-yard year as he led all Colt receivers with 61 catches and 5 touchdowns. The Jones-Carr connection proved most effective under comeback conditions, and the two teamed up often in Miami, but not before the Colt defense put a damper on Bob Greasy and the Dolphins to shut them out for the entire second half. Behind by a touchdown in the third period, another Colt surge was initiated by Joe Washington, number 20. Down but never grounded, Washington gave way to Bert Jones and Roger Carr.
And the setback to Joe Washington and Cleveland Franklin. The takeaway by Bert Jones. Gives to nobody. Play action fake. Wants to throw. Pressure. Fires down the middle. Caught and in for the touchdown. Goes Roger Carr. First and goal at the Miami 8-yard line. Jones wants to throw. Quick release looking. Fires. End zone. Touchdown to Carr. Oh, what a throw from Bert Jones. And the guy with the hands like poached eggs just hauled it in.
The Colts rallied for 20 unanswered second-half points, and Bert Jones's touchdown finalized the 30-17 win. Baltimore had beaten the Dolphins in the Orange Bowl for the first time in 3 seasons. When Jones is occasionally off form, the Colts make a little magic. With a supply of interchangeable parts, Baltimore quarterbacks reverse roles. And when the real Greg Landry stood up, he gave the Colts the best 1-2 quarterback punch in the game. After breaking Colt records for attempts and completions the year before, Landry saw limited duty in 1980. But on a Sunday afternoon in late November, Landry went the distance in the season's second meeting with the Buffalo Bills.
Joe Washington, Don McCauley, the setbacks behind Landry. Double flankers wide to the right side. Landry, a straight drop, wants to throw pressure. Throws it up in the air into the end zone. Touchdown to Butler.
Blitz was on. He beat the blitz.
What a great throw by Greg Landry and a perfect catch by Butler. And the Colts have tied the game. 2nd and 6. The give to Dickey into the middle. Spurt through.
The Colts blew by the NFL's #1 defense. With Curtis Dickey, Colt fans knew they had something special.
Dickey and Franklin, 3rd down at the 3. The give to Dickey, right side. Still moving inside for the score. Dickey has done it again.
Marvelous runner. Franklin blocking for him.
So quick, so strong, so determined, so good is Curtis Dickey.
Dickey's second touchdown sealed the win, and the Colts concluded a 2-game sweep over the AFC Eastern Division champion. Throughout 1980, the Colts had their share of ups and downs. At times, they were clearly in step. Then there were times when things just didn't fit. Even with adjustments, they couldn't see their way clear. The split personality reared its head in Cincinnati. The Colts trailed the Bengals by 25 points in the final period. Before losing on a late field goal, the Colts erupted for 4 touchdowns and painted Cincinnati faces a different color. First, Curtis Dickey and rookie fullback Marvin Sims, number 39, scored touchdowns from inside the 5 to pull within 11 points. Then Bert Jones went airborne.
Right, wants to throw, drills it fast, caught by Randy Burton, in for the touchdown.
There you are. Has this team awakened? Been like Rip Van Winkle all afternoon.
Jones rolls right, wants to throw, fires down the middle, caught by Curtis Dickey at the 10, to the 5, Dickey scores!
Oh, my! Incredible. How about this comeback? Really the most dramatic period, I think, in the history of this team.
28 points in 12 minutes. Indeed, these Colts were explosive. The term explosive is synonymous with Joe Washington. 180 pounds of firepower, Washington has been a Baltimore workhorse for 3 seasons, doing everything and anything asked of him. Not the biggest or fastest back, Washington survives on grit and wit. It was a typical Joe Washington year. Number 20 all-purposed his way to 1,000 total yards. The 1980 draft provided the Colts with a bounty of talent that came of age in a hurry. Raymond Butler, number 80, stepped off the campus of the University of Southern California and became the top first-year receiver in the AFC. More than a possession receiver, Butler is a true long ball threat who caught 34 balls for 574 yards and 4 touchdowns. Rebuilding a winner is seldom an overnight process, but the success of Raymond Butler and the last 2 drafts has the Colts program running well ahead of schedule. No one man reflects the promise of the Colts' future more clearly than Curtis Dickey. Dickey missed most of training camp and the preseason, but number 27 adjusted rapidly to his new surroundings. A former three-time National College Sprint champion, Dickey combined extraordinary speed with natural football instincts, then used uncommon strength to hit tacklers before they hit him. Dickey's 13 touchdowns were the second highest total in the NFL. Several of those scores came from inside the 5-yard line. In the race for the flag, Dickey was simply unstoppable. Dickey's skills as a pass receiver added to his versatility as he recorded over 1,000 total yards on the year. Curtis Dickey is an investment in the future that paid off immediately. He's a blue chipper whose stock rose every time he touched the football. Curtis Dickey, a rhapsody in blue and white. In 1980, the Colts gathered together and grew as a football team with leadership from veterans, stability from head coach Mike McCormick, and outstanding performances from first-year players. Yes, Bert Jones can look back on a year when the Colts once again became competitors.